Well, good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don back in here with you on your Monday morning. It is Monday, March 31st, 2025, and we are here to talk to you about the potential for some severe weather across East Alabama and eventually across the entire state of Georgia as well. The National Weather Service out of Birmingham, Alabama, in coordination with the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma, has issued a severe thunderstorm watch. The watch was issued just a few moments ago, and there you see the graphic on the screen of the counties in Alabama that are covered under this severe thunderstorm watch. Now, it only catches a couple of counties in Georgia. That's up there in extreme northwest Georgia. And then we get most of North Alabama and Central Alabama and a handful of counties back over in Mississippi. This basically is along and north of a line from the I-85 corridor at the Alabama-Georgia state line down to Montgomery, and then over to the Mississippi state line from that area north is where the severe thunderstorm watch is posted for this morning for the potential of some severe thunderstorms, possibly producing some small spin-up tornadoes, hail, and damaging winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and take a look at the graphic of what we think is going to happen. We do have an enhanced risk of severe weather across the same area where we have the severe thunderstorm watch in effect. And you'll see the timing over there on the right-hand side of the screen. And I think maybe that's a little optimistic on the timing. I'll show you radar in just a few moments, but I think it's probably going to be more like 9 or 10 a.m. Central before this line of thunderstorms starts marching through the area of East Alabama and West Georgia. Let's go ahead and take the radar, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We do have storms in northwest Alabama. Just a special weather statement up there. But you'll notice back in north central Mississippi, we have quite a few severe thunderstorm warnings now. But they're still back, stretching all the way back to the I-55 corridor from Tupelo back down to I-55. So these storms have got a ways to go before they get into East Alabama and West Georgia. And honestly, the area that we would really watch that would most likely affect East Alabama and West Georgia would be in this area from Yazoo City back down to around Jackson, Mississippi. That's pretty much what would be headed to East Alabama and West Georgia. And you'll notice that at least at the moment, there's a gap there where we're not seeing any severe weather. Now, that's not to say that when this line makes it over to East Alabama, that it's going to look exactly the same. Odds are it will not. Odds are that will fill in, and we will see storms down this entire line. Understand that storms are constantly changing. What you're looking at in Mississippi is not exactly what you're going to see in Alabama or Georgia. That gives you an idea of the structure of storms and the severity overall, but you can't look at any one particular point in Mississippi and say, okay, that's the area that's going to move over my house, and there's nothing over there in Mississippi, so I'm golden. That's not the way this works. That will change as we go throughout the morning hours. As we get daylight breaking, we get the sun going, this line of storms is going to heat up and probably intensify, especially as we get into late morning and early afternoon. And that's a heads up for you folks over in Georgia. I think you actually stand a better chance at seeing strong storms later on today than what we may see across Mississippi and parts of Alabama. So that's kind of what the radar looks like this morning. I'll zoom out a little further and we'll show you the entire picture out there. And again, that orange area is where the severe thunderstorm watch is posted this morning across Alabama and Georgia. Do a little housekeeping here and get that cleaned up for you. It's good to see all of you in here this morning, and I know that a lot of you are tuning in to find out what is the dealio. Do we have school this morning? And I got to tell you that the only school system I know for sure that is doing anything different this morning is Clay County. They're on a 3-hour delay. Have not seen anything official from any other school system. If you have something official from any other school system, how about sending it to me on Messenger so that I can verify that information before I put it out there? Good morning, Kelly. Well, good morning, First Alert Hurricane Tracker, telling us that they have shared our video on First Alert Hurricane Tracker. Thank you, First Alert Hurricane Tracker. Send me a message on Messenger. I'd like to talk to you. Always looking for folks to network with. Good morning, Gloria. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Brandy. Good morning, Pine Mountain, Georgia, Christina. Hey, Lisa, good morning. There's a proud partner right there. N&W Locks. Good morning, Miss Elaine. Yeah, we're going to get a little rain out of this. I don't think as much as we had hoped we were going to get and as much as we need, but we're going to get some. Lynn's watching us in Wedowee. Good morning, Ross. Good morning, Lynette. I see you, Susie. Randolph County is on spring break. That is correct. Waiting to hear what Roanoke is going to do. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Anita. Good morning, Stacy. LaGrange is in the house. Hey, Mike Pittman. Kelly's watching us in Woodland this morning. Good morning, Jamie in Lineville. Good morning, Angela. Hey, Stephanie in Noonan, Georgia. Leela's watching us in Lineville. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning, Lisa in Woodland. Bobby G got us rocking this morning down in Chambers County, Alabama. Hey, Tammy, good morning from Lafayette. Good morning, Janine. Good morning, Ashley in Cleburne. Sandra's watching us down there in Jackson's Gap. Knoxville, Georgia in the house. Good morning, Tina. So I know where Nashville, Georgia is. Where is Knoxville? That's a new one. Tyus is in the house. Good morning, Pamela. Lucy. Good morning. Good morning, Scarlett and Ashland. Penny in Wedowee. Sheila, good morning. Ricky and Gail watching us in Cragford. Dale from Rock Mills. Stephanie's asking a good question. How bad is it going to get? Y'all know my standard answer to that question. I can't tell you. I can tell you what the possibilities are. The good thing here is, and I'm not trying to minimize this by any shape, form, or fashion. Severe thunderstorms are deadly. Severe thunderstorms are just as serious as tornadoes. But we got a severe thunderstorm watch, not a tornado watch. So that kind of goes in line with what I was telling you guys last night, and that I don't think this is going to be a major tornado outbreak. As a matter of fact, I think this is going to be more of a damaging wind event, and we certainly could see a few spin-up tornadoes along the line as well. But we're talking the F-0s and the F-1s. We're not talking the 2s, 3s, and 4s. And so the possibilities are a few small spin-up tornadoes, damaging winds in excess of 70 miles per hour, and large hail. That's how bad it could get. And that applies to every single location across central and north Alabama, middle and north Georgia. Now, I think later on today, after that line kind of moves through East Alabama and West Georgia, we're going to see South Alabama and South Georgia go under the gun for the possibility of severe weather. And it may actually end up being more of a threat down there later on today than there is across central and north Georgia and Alabama this morning, because we really get the heating of the day going this afternoon by the time that line gets south. So hope that answers your question. I cannot tell you exactly what it's going to do at your house, but I can tell you what the possibilities are. And the possibilities bear watching. You need to be weather aware. If kids are indeed going to go to school this morning, if you are indeed going to go to work this morning, you got to remain weather aware throughout the day. Hey, Richard in Bowden. Darlene is in Bluff Springs, Alabama. Hey, Larry Mitchell, good morning. Another supporter of Dr. Don's weather. Nicole watching us in Center Chapel. Tiffany, good morning from Franklin, Georgia. West of Macon, near Roberta. Okay, I know where that's at. That is Knoxville, Georgia. Hey, Richard in Bowden. Thanks, Tina, for clarifying that. I know where you're at now. Terry is in Franklin. Catherine's watching us from Roanoke. She says she's going to Bowden this morning and then back to Roanoke later today. Then she says, stupid phone. I have that problem too, Catherine. Not a big deal. I know what you're saying. So that's why you guys need to be watching us either on a tablet or on a large big screen TV, on a smart TV. You need to be watching us on YouTube, and I see that you are, Catherine. You're watching us on YouTube this morning. But you need to watch us on that big screen TV. Boy, the resolution is fantastic. Jesse watching us this morning. Jesse's also watching on YouTube. Linda watching us on Facebook in Dickert. Yeah, Stephanie, no real changes from last night. And for Coweta County, I think you're probably in the 10, 11 o'clock time frame. Well, there is the stump. Good morning, Billy. I'm going to pitch it down to Stump for a sideline report. Take it, son. Back in the day, and I mean back in the day, Billy Lane was my sideline reporter, along with Coach Mike Fisher. the late great. We did high school football for Randolph County, for all the schools in Randolph County for years and years. Those were the days, man. I pull a tape out every now and then and listen to it and close my eyes and go back to it. A lot of fun. Good morning, Oxford, Alabama. Yeah, I think that's right, Mike. Late morning, midday, probably for West Georgia. John's watching us in Newell. Good morning, Sherry. All right, so a lot of you are telling me that you're going places this morning, that you're like traveling to places. Let me tell you, right this minute, everything is certainly okay to travel across East Alabama and West Georgia. I mean, the closest severe weather is way back in central Mississippi, so you got several hours here where you can do some traveling with no problems at all. But remain weather aware as you go throughout the morning, especially if you're traveling east or west. You got to keep up with the weather so you don't get caught in it coming back. So make sure you're weather aware as you travel this morning. Good morning, GG in 5 Points. Everything is good in Armory, Mississippi. Good to hear. Yes, sir, Mr. Billy Lane. We sure did. Had lots of fun. That was a great team. We did a lot of good stuff. Good morning, Smith Station. Troup County breaking news. All right, you got my curiosity up now. Tracy's watching us from Woodland. Catherine, humor just happens on Dr. Don's weather. I mean, sometimes it just happens. But hey, that's okay. I mean, you got to have a sense of humor. All right, so Janine's telling us that Roanoke City Schools will operate on regular schedule today. So that decision has been made. They said they would make a decision at 5:30, and it is 5:32. So regular schedule today for Roanoke City Schools. Randolph County is on spring break. Yeah, there's some humor, Stephen. Good morning, Opelika. Good morning, Auburn. My goodness, what a party we had at Toomer's yesterday afternoon. That was a great ball game. Tigers headed to the Final Four. Thank you, Janine, for letting me know. That's what I figured, because they said they were going to make that decision at 5:30. Cleburne is also on spring break. Hey, Connie and Ranburn. Thank you for joining us, Joyce Hill. Jackie watching us from Newell, Alabama. All right, so I'm taking some comp time this morning from the daytime paying job to be able to be here with you guys. So we're going to be talking about North Georgia more than we typically do. I mean, we do talk about North Georgia, but we're going to spend a little extra time on North Georgia today because a lot of folks are tuning in up here to see what's going on. And right this moment, netting. So we'll head up here to the area I live in. Well, let's try it this way. That's the county I live in right there, White County, Georgia. You know where Helen's at. You know where Dahlonegah's at. Most of you probably know where Lake Lanier is, Gainesville, Georgia. I'm up here in White County. My studio is actually right there, right where White, Lumpkin, and Hall all come together, up on the side of Waka Mountain, or as one of my grandkids call it, Monkey Mountain. Now, some of you are probably scratching your head trying to figure out why I am doing weather coverage for East Alabama and West Georgia if I live up here in Northeast Georgia. Well, I hadn't always lived in Northeast Georgia. I spent 22 years in Roanoke, Alabama. A lot of that time I was on broadcast radios. I was just alluding to talking to Stump. Did high school football, did the morning show on Eagle 102. Also served as the EMA director for Randolph County for 6 years. I was involved in fire department, police department, law enforcement, public safety for a long, long time. And then around 2011, I moved to Northeast Georgia. And then modern technology developed to the point to where we could start doing live severe streaming coverage for East Alabama and West Georgia. So that's where we are. You guys need it. You deserve it. You support it. So we're doing it. So across North Georgia right now, nothing much going on. We've got a few scattered showers out there. Just west of Dahlonegah, just to the northeast of Ellijay, back to the west of Blue Ridge. A few showers up there around Young Harris, right on the North Carolina, Georgia state line. And maybe some sprinkles up there in Helen, but nothing of any great significance. And the severe thunderstorm watch does cover a couple of counties up in northwest, extreme northwest Georgia. I'm working on it, Seth. Saying send some rain. We need it bad. But we do have a couple of counties up here in northwest Georgia that are covered under the tornado watch, but certainly the state of Alabama, central and north Alabama, is where the majority of the counties are that are covered under the severe thunderstorm watch. And then we have a large part of Mississippi and even down into Louisiana. It's under a severe thunderstorm watch. And really the most active severe weather we have going on across the southeastern United States at this hour is going to be down in Louisiana. And this is going to be a couple of tornado warnings near, there's so much on the screen, it's hard to pick it out. I believe that's Well, we'll call it northwest of Baton Rouge, near New Roads, Louisiana. And then another severe thunderstorm possibly producing a tornado near Quartz Springs, Louisiana. So those are the only two tornado-producing thunderstorms we have out there at the moment. Understand the atmosphere is still relatively cool. We've just gone through the overnight hours. So there's not a whole lot going on with this line of thunderstorms at the moment. Now, you'll see a tremendous amount of lightning. I mean, look at that. Now, understand, we're looking at Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and part of Tennessee. Just in the last 3 minutes, 2,000 strokes of lightning. That's a lot. But I think as the sun comes up and this line slowly continues to creep on off to the east, we're going to start to see an uptick in what we're looking at right now. And practically every single county along this line is under severe thunderstorm warning as this thing moves east. There's a little bit of a gap right here around Yazoo City, but look what's happening. Back to the west, we are beginning to see some development back there. And these are kind of nasty looking, especially that one lone storm right there. This is just north of Yazoo City, just to the west of Lexington, Mississippi, just west of I-55. That thing's got a tail on it, and that structure certainly bears watching on that particular storm. It's kind of sitting back there by itself. So this gap that we were looking at just a few moments ago already beginning to fill in. And this is the area that you're going to kind of watch for what we would expect over in East Alabama and West Georgia later on this morning. So we all know that we're under a severe thunderstorm watch. So I am going to take the watches off of the map because it gets so cluttered. It's kind of hard to see what's going on with all that on there. So the orange rectangle boxes that you see on the screen right now are all severe thunderstorm warnings. And if you look real close under all this lightning down here in Louisiana, you can see two red flashing polygons. Those are tornado warnings. And the orange, severe thunderstorm warnings. Good morning, Jackie Lee. That's another one that used to do football with us back in the day. I mean, that even goes back further than Stump. That was back in the beginning of all this mess. He helped us out a time or two later on in the years, too. But good morning, Jackie Lee. Hey, Judy at the Hobson community. Reba's watching us this morning. Cassandra's watching us in Roanoke. Good morning, Kathy in Troup County. Hey, First Alert Hurricane Tracker. I like the sounds of that. Again, send me a message on Messenger, and we'll hook up offline and see what we can do. I'm all about networking. That's where it's at. Terry's watching this morning in Hackneyville. We got a ways to go before the severe weather makes it into East Alabama and West Georgia, so I do not anticipate staying with live coverage from now through the duration. We're probably going to. It's 5:44. I'm probably going to take it to 6 a.m. Central, and then we'll take a break. And then we'll come back at some point when that line of storms gets a little bit closer to us. Put that time over there where we can see it a little bit better. If you're just joining us wanting to know what's going on with the schools, Clay County is on a 3-hour delay. Tallapoosa is monitoring. Randolph County is on spring break, and Cleburne County is also on spring break. Roanoke will run a normal schedule today. Hey, Daryl in Wadley, Terry in Hackneyville. Ven's watching us up in Huntsville. He says lots of lightning, and you do. Ven, you've got that line is about to move into the Huntsville area. So there's a good bit of lightning popping around you, though the heavier storms are still off to your southwest, and they are moving like so. So, honestly, at the moment, I mean, you got a couple of heavy storms to your west, but honestly, the absolute heaviest of all this is probably going to scoot just a little bit south of you. Also, you folks up here in North Georgia, you may be seeing a good bit of lightning to the north, especially if you're in Blue Ridge, and maybe even over into Union County. You may be noticing some light flashes back up to your north and northwest. That's a few thunderstorms moving through extreme southern Tennessee, about to move into southwest North Carolina, just to the west of Andrews. That's moving almost due east, maybe a little bit north of due east. That should stay out of Georgia. I'll turn the loop on so you can kind of get a sense of the direction of travel. Loosedale, Mississippi. I hope I said that right. Okay, you're northwest of Mobile, so you um in this general area here. And you got some big storms just off to your west. So I would say within the next hour, you'll be looking at some heavy storms there in Loosedale, Mississippi. No, it'll be after 7 o'clock before it makes it into Roanoke. We're running a little behind schedule. Of course, that was just 7 a.m. was when the window of opportunity was to open. I mean, kind of watching some smaller individual sales that are trying to spin up across East Alabama, but I mean, nothing of any significance at all right now. So, I mean, at 7 a.m., you could start seeing some showers, yes, but the main line is still well back in central Mississippi. It's going to take a while for it to get into East Alabama. Y'all, I got me a new chair, and it doesn't throw me out on the floor, and it's rather comfy. So we're just kind of watching this together, and for those of you that are just joining, I'll kind of recap what's going on. At the moment, not much of anything across East Alabama and West Georgia. We do have a line of thunderstorms that, let me zoom back out and see the entire thing. The southern end of this cold front is really lagging behind. If I zoom all the way out, you can see that the actual low pressure itself is spinning up there over Michigan, or just to the west southwest of Montreal. And you'll see that the northern end of this has already made it to the east coast. But then you get down into the Virginias, then the southern end of this thing just really lags back to the south and southwest. But look at all of that lightning, would you? Basically, the National Weather Service warning for just about every single county along this line of thunderstorms, with the exception of just north of Jackson, Mississippi. We think, however, as we get into the daylight hours and we start to get some daytime heating taking place, that this area is probably going to fill in. We're already seeing some bigger storms trying to develop in that area. I think we just caught a tornado warning for North Alabama. I don't think, maybe not. Maybe it's not in Alabama just yet. It's right here on the state line, though. Armory, Mississippi. Tornado warning. That is just to the west of Detroit. Southwest of Hamilton, Alabama, to the southeast of Tupelo, Mississippi, to the northwest of Vernon, Sulligent, Alabama. So if you're over here in Detroit, Alabama, Sulligent, Alabama, Hamilton, Guin, Winfield, Brilliant, you need to be paying attention to this thunderstorm over in Mississippi that is going to be crossing into Alabama shortly. A tornado warning remains in effect until 6:30 this morning for southeastern or northeastern Monroe counties. At 5:44 a.m., a severe squall line capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage was located near Armory, moving to the east at 45 miles per hour. That's in Mississippi, but that will cross into Alabama shortly, right there along Highway 17 near Detroit, Alabama, just north of Sulligent. Really, from Sulligent all the way to Hamilton. You don't need to be on Highway 17. If you're traveling up there on Interstate 22 in Alabama, heads up. This will eventually move right over Interstate 22, probably in the vicinity of Hamilton. Jeff, you have no idea. That other chair was a gaming chair, and it was comfortable, okay, but the cylinder was messed up on it, and I'd be fine, and all of a sudden, boom, I hit the deck. I tried to fix it. Didn't work out so well, so I just bit the bullet and went ahead and got me a good one. Yeah, Terry, we were just looking at one. That's not a confirmed tornado in Mississippi, but probably some damage occurring with it. And then there are a couple of tornado warnings down in Louisiana this morning. Other than that, we haven't seen a tremendous number of tornado warnings. Good morning, Sheila in Pine Mountain. I appreciate you tuning in this morning. How about Roanoke? How about Wedowee? How y'all doing this morning, Timmy? Line of thunderstorms will move across Alabama and Georgia. Every single square inch of North Alabama, Central Alabama, North Georgia, Central Georgia. Oh, wait a minute. We call it Middle Georgia over here. Will experience this line of thunderstorms. Some of you will see severe weather. Some of you will not. Can't tell you exactly what's going to happen in Roanoke or exactly what's going to happen in Wedowee. I can tell you what the possibilities are. The possibilities are damaging straight-line winds in excess of 70 miles per hour, a few small spin-up tornadoes, and large damaging hail are the possibilities for Roanoke, Wedowee, and every single community in front of this line of thunderstorms. Not really that fast moving, Kathy. I mean, this thing's kind of creeping along this morning. 35, 40 miles per hour. And that's pretty slow when we're talking about a line of thunderstorms. I don't know, Remy. I don't know if it's going to be a bad day or not. I mean, if we were to reach the height of the potential, yes, it would be a bad day, but it's kind of hard to say right now. I think it's going to be interesting to see once we get full-blown sunshine going this morning as to whether these storms increase in intensity or not. Yes, Rachel, absolutely nothing to worry about in Wedowee at the moment, but the line is still well to your west. Hadn't made it to you yet. Take a deep breath, Remy. Don't do that to yourself. You're doing what you need to do to be safe. 90% of surviving severe weather events is being weather aware. You're watching us this morning. You're weather aware. I'm going to tell you if you need to go to your safe place. Right now, there's absolutely no reason to be anxious about this situation. We got you. You're good. Good morning, April, and 5 points. Abanda in the house. Good morning, Gene. Thank you, Patty. That's right, Kay. Actually, I think maybe there was a weight limit on that chair. I just didn't realize. Hey, Samantha in Alexander City. Good morning to everybody. What time will it be in Stroud? I believe it is time for the crystal ball. The Dr. Don crystal ball. I can't tell you exactly what time it's going to be in Stroud. I can give you an idea and give you a window. Probably mid-morning is likely what we're looking at. I mean, the line of storms is still back in, east Mississippi, really stretching back into central Mississippi. The part that will affect East Alabama and West Georgia most likely will be this area. I am having some issues with my art class this morning. Here we go. And this is going to kind of move like so. And this is the general area we're going to watch. That's most likely where East Alabama and West Georgia's weather will come from. So you can see that, hang on, is still 231 miles away. So that's a long way off. It's going to take a couple, 2 or 3 hours for it to make it into East Alabama. And it's 6 now, 6, 7, 8. I'm thinking 9 o'clock, 9:30 Central, before this line actually gets into East Alabama and West Georgia. Now, We do have a few showers trying to get going out there now, though at the moment, none of that is severe or even remotely close to being severe. But we're going to keep an eye to see if we get some storms developing out ahead of this line of thunderstorms. That is possible. It doesn't look plausible at the moment, but we are watching for that possibility. All right, so here's what we're going to do, my people. I'm going to take a break. Again, there's zero reason for concern across East Alabama or West Georgia at this hour. The main reason I wanted to come on and do a live with you is because we are now under a severe thunderstorm watch. It was issued about an hour ago for a large area across Alabama and back into Mississippi. There you go. This is the Alabama portion of that watch. Doesn't include all of Mississippi. Actually, I think the Huntsville area has been released from the watch as well. But that's general idea of where the severe thunderstorm watch is this morning. And there's the graphic. The timing is showing 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. 2 hours from now, I'm not really sure this is going to be in East Alabama. I mean, it might be in the extreme western fringes of East Alabama, probably more likely in the Birmingham or just west of Birmingham by 8 a.m. And then it'll continue moving to the east. Level 3 out of 5, with 5 being the highest risk level for severe weather. So this has the potential of being significant. Can't tell you exactly what it's going to do in your front yard or your backyard or your neighbor's yard or even in your town. But I can tell you what the potential is. Damaging straight-line winds in excess of 70 miles per hour, tornadoes, and large hail are all possible across all of Alabama and Georgia, and that severe threat will remain until the line passes your house. Then the threat will end. So I'm with you throughout the morning. We're covering this for you up until the point it becomes an issue up here in northeast Georgia, and then I would have to leave you. Sometimes the storms line up to where it's storming here at the exact same time it is across East Alabama and West Georgia. Most of the time it clears East Alabama and West Georgia before we get it up here. And I'm hoping if we have to have any at all, I'm hoping that's what happens today. We're going to watch that. Most of you know that I'm an emergency manager up here in northeast Georgia, so that obviously has to come first and will. But we're going to stay with you as long as we possibly can to at least let you know what's coming, and then hopefully we can stay with you during the duration of this event until everybody is safe. If I do have to leave the live, I will continue to post on Facebook as information comes in. So we're going to take a break. I'm going to step aside and analyze a few things, and then we'll come back. It is 6:08. I'll be back in about an hour or sooner, if I think it becomes necessary, with another update here on Dr. Don's Weather. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in about an hour.